picking the slugs and snails, and this year I'm on the hunt. Oh, look at that one. Look at that one. You will notice on the time lapse that obviously there's quite a chunk missing. Um, Unfortunately, the wind started blowing a bit and blown over the tripods. Hello and welcome to the first episode of On You Grow. I've been wanting to do this channel for a very long time, and I must say I've probably subscribed to every single gardening vlog and allotment diaries channel that there is on YouTube. I really wanted to make my own. I'm still not 100% convinced that this one will make it online, but I got up this morning saying it will go online, so I'm on it. In today's episode, I will give you a quick tour of the greenhouse, not so much on the outside was the rain, although the setup outside is pretty minimal at the moment. Garden's going through quite a lot of changes just now, and we don't actually have much growing. Outside we have a few herbs. We have the courgette just been planted a few days ago there. We have more in the allotment, which you will see later on. We have some purple sprouting broccoli, and we have the Christmas potatoes that's been just put in. Potatoes have been, main crop have been harvested a few days ago. In the greenhouse, as you can see, mostly we are growing tomatoes, and also, which I will show you in a minute, we have some peppers and some chili, and obviously quite a lot of sowing as well going on. We will start this tour with, I suppose, the start of the show. And here anyway, this wall of tomatoes, and there's some more down here as well. I must admit I'm late this year, for a change. I'm always quite late in the season, but this year particularly has been difficult. So yeah, very late in the season. So obviously they are not as big as they would be. That's the reason why they're in smaller pots. We've got 5 liter here, and 3 liter over there, and 5 liter down here as well. The reason I've kept them in smaller pots is so I could actually get some cropping rather than having loads of leaves and then hardly any fruits this year. We have some Scotland yellow here, or Elsa yellow as they're called as well. So that's purely a salad tomato. Those ones in here which are fruiting quite well already, as you can probably see. Those ones are black cherry. All those ones here at the bottom are also Elsa yellow. Some cucumber, which are actually doing really well this year. This is the first time I'm growing full size. I usually go for the piccolino, thinking that big cucumber would not grow in Scotland, but they are actually doing quite well. We've got a couple growing in here. Obviously, we've got next generation, and here and bit everywhere right at the top. And as you can see, it's growing right to the top. So now I've actually rigged a few more hooks. Need to get the rope across, and then I'm going to train them right across to the other side of the greenhouse now. We've already harvested about 4 or 5 of them, I think. And then obviously we've got another 2 there, which will probably be harvested in a week or so. Down here, behind that trolley that I should probably have moved before starting filming, but just here we have 2 chili plants, 2 Colorado chili, and we have our 4 sweet pepper. Those ones are California Wonder. A bit later as well, and they're just starting to fruit, so I'm Not sure we will get much on the sweet pepper or the bell pepper, but definitely have some lovely chilies growing, which I'm really chuffed about. I've never really managed to grow them. I've always been handed over to slugs, and this year I'm on the hunt every night, every single night. I've been here, um, making sure that I'm picking the slugs and snails and giving them somewhere else to go and eat. And it's been working. It's been working. I've had a few victims earlier in the season, mostly marigold, which I don't actually like marigold. I really grow them, as you can see here. I obviously this one was a victim of it, but I usually grow them just for accompanying my tomatoes. So I'm not too sad about it. But apart from that, it's been quite successful this year. My seedlings have done quite well. But I've been very drastic about my slug hunt. So doing well. Fingers crossed it continues. So right here we've got some, my goodness, do not look at this one. This is a bit of a disaster. When I was saying that I'm always late, this is extremely late. So that's meant to be producing some lovely pumpkins. It's there. It's there, and it's very root bound, and it probably will not go anywhere. Peas very unsuccessful in here this year. This was a full tray of Robinson, didn't work at all. I caught up with Munch2, which thankfully worked. Lettuce have done really well. This is actually what's left over after planting and repotting about 50 of them. So I think I'm just going to use this as cut leaf, loose leaf. So that's the idea. We have up here the purple sprouting broccoli. Some of them are already outside. The rest is obviously in here. It's, oh, look at that one. Look at that one. I will get you after. That's part of my hunt. We also have some extra courgette. At this point, I don't know what to do with them. Obviously, as you can see, they're dying off in here. They are very stressed. They're out. I've got 2 producing really well in the allotment. I've got 5 that I've planted here a few days ago. So that's not an issue with those ones. It's really leftover. We also have here some leftover lettuce. Again, I've got some growing outside. So those ones probably will make it out at some point. Just need to see the space I've got for them. Leeks, elephant, which those ones will be for obviously for next year. Still very small. They've just been potted on, and here they were in a big module tray. Basil, again, those ones will be potted on. I've got some in amongst my tomatoes, if you have seen that. I also have some in the herb pot outside, and those ones hopefully will be just to harvest and just make a big pesto for the winter. And then we have a couple of trays of colliers, which I quite like having some colliers just to fill up in beds. And I know they shouldn't be in here, they should be sown directly outside. Osteospermum, which I'm trying to see if I can just plug them in there and just move them about. That's what we are working with in here. We also have a small part of an allotment as well, which you will see a bit later. We'll go over there after this. Weather-wise, it's been really difficult to get out, and although I'm certainly not made of sugar and I will not melt, it's not very pleasant to be out in that rain and trying to work. It's not enjoyable. Work is one thing, but if it's for pleasure, you don't enjoy it. So I have skipped it more than I should, and for various reasons, which I will explain later on, I have let it go back to quite an overgrown bit, which we will start tackling today, and hopefully get this back together into shape on time for late season cropping and hopefully over winter things. And here, obviously, there's also quite a lot of work that will need done, especially on tidying those tomatoes, tidying the greenhouse itself, and we will also have a few more sowing which we will do in the coming days, which will be in another episode. But yeah, that's what we have for the moment. I will take you over to the allotment now. Thanks to the magic of editing, we are now at the allotment. We are starting again with those tomatoes. First few fruits are showing up, so labels are a bit all over the place, but we have some black cherry here. I believe we should have 2 black cherries, and those 2 should be Elsa yellow, so salad tomatoes. On this side, potatoes have been pulled out of those 3 beds, waiting to be replanted. I can't remember what was in there, but there is a few. Actually, fortunately, as you can see, going to seed now, and a few lettuce as well that are not doing too bad. They're picking up quite quickly, so that's good. A red cabbage has been uncovered not that long ago. It's doing surprisingly well, considering that they were not looking too good a few months ago, a few weeks ago even, but picking up. On this side we have corn is picking up quite nicely now. Lovely corn coming up. Give them a wee shake here and there. And here we have the leeks, elephant leeks, I believe. Again, they've been transplanted about a month ago and doing really, really well. Some of them are picking up nicely and might even be picked up before the new year. So quite a success. And this very weedy bed. I have a few onions. Just if you look closely enough, you will see there's some onions. This is still a work in progress just now. All that bit needs to be dug out and worked right through. Same in here, it's been planted, but needs a bit of TLC, especially in that corner. And if I take you around to this side, we have the same issue in here, and there where weeding would need to be done. We've got a few lovely looking peas. It's been quite prolific given the size of it. Well, we were hoping for bush tomatoes, but it's more of a monstrosity of a tomato. But we'll get to it some point as well. And here, I can only blame myself for this. We'll try to get to it today. Bit of a success with around this side with some of the sunflowers. Oh, look at that. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. But back to us. The idea in here, and you will, well, I was going to say you will see, but you will not see it because it's so overgrown now. You have 1 stake there. You have another stake here. 3rd one. And the 4th one there. Those were meant to be lines of carrots, spring onions, spinach, beetroots. The problem is this patch was very, very, very overgrown when we arrived here. I actually have some pictures which I'll put on the screen now. We got all this weeded, and I was gonna work the soil around. So the person that was here before had very, very few successes in here. Most of the successes were actually the onions, which were still in the ground. completely rotten at the time, but it was still in the ground. Volunteer potatoes popping back up. This was very unsuccessful, and I thought that I could put a few easy seeds, put some seaweed and chicken manure pellets, and tackle this, but it didn't work. The weed came back quicker. It was difficult to see the difference between what was weed and what was potentially growing in there. So I thought I'll just leave it to go for a bit longer and see what's coming. Fortunately, nothing but a few beetroots came up, and even now I'm actually just looking and I can't even see where the beetroots are now because it's just, oh, I see one. I see one. If I turn you around, I'll be able to show you one tiny survivor of the disaster. Oh, there's another one. Look at that. But overall, this is pretty disastrous. Courgettes are okay, but courgettes been planted in rather than sown directly, and we do have some very small courgettes, but we have more on the way. Mostly on this plant. That one is a bit slower, but it's picking up. There's 1, 2, 3. That's a male there, perhaps 4 underneath, and yeah, we've got a few coming there. And you may have not even noticed, we have some canes, and each cane has technically a very sad looking tomato plant. Those are meant to be black cherry, but it's not working. It's not working. So that were left over, so that's fine. The rest is in the greenhouse and doing fairly well. Fairly well. They could do better, but I was really late this year to start all this, so that's what it is. Oh, we also have a very densely sown, as you can see, basil, which doesn't work very well. Parsley is doing okay, and chive. Chive is not for me. Chive is, like gardeners often have a nemesis. Chive is mine. One of mine. I've got a few, but chive is definitely not something that I can successfully grow. I think it's fair to say that the chive will be gone and replaced with something slightly more successful, perhaps some coriander. It's always nice to have a bit of a mix of herbs. I'm not a big fan of coriander. That's not something that we use very often in the kitchen, but we do every so often. So I suppose we could dry or freeze some coriander and use as and when. I'll be better than an empty pot of nothingness. We have a few bean, so few that there we go. I can't even find any. We have a few French bean growing, but it's not a complete success either. I was very late in the season to sow them up or to plant them up, more likely. And again, they're very much competing with the huge amount of weed. And yes, it's fair to say that this section needs a bit or a lot of TLC. We'll get to it. We'll try to clear a bit of space. We will not get all the weeds today, simply because I don't have time to get them all out, and I don't think the weather, although this is quite decent what's coming to us, so we might have a bit more time than expected, but we don't have an awful lot of time today. So, right, enough chit chat. Let's get to it. will notice on the time lapse that obviously there's quite a chunk missing. Unfortunately, the wind started blowing a bit and blown over the tripod. So yeah, didn't realize that obviously for a good 10-15 minutes, the camera was actually filming the grass from up close and time lapse. So yeah, that's where we're at now. So we've got a bit cleared up here. Obviously all the weeds, it's been done pretty much all the way there. Gonna put a couple of starts of a row of pak choi, which I will continue further along that strip once I get it cleared. And same with the lettuce, I'll start here, but obviously so much I can go there that way, so we'll see how far I can get. And then I'm gonna have to shoot. So right, so we have some extremely dry pak choi. Just realized you can't really see my face, but that's okay. Try to turn this a bit better. Like I said, that just needs to be worked properly, but we'll have to do for the time being. What I really want to do is show you a bit of sowing, a bit of planting, just so it's not just me chatting away. I should really be working with my gloves here because I've seen quite a lot of glass, but that's okay. That's okay, we'll make it work. Few pak choi. We'll harvest them quite small, so don't need an awful lot of spacing between them. Just a bit of spacing will do. Thank you for joining me today, and hopefully you'll be wanting to join me for a bit more of my journey.